Okay, good evening, everyone. This week's Parsha is Parshat Bo. And I actually have a very nice thing to say about Parshat Bo, but I'll keep that for Tuesday, because I speak also in Tuesday. Because last week, one of the days that I was supposed to speak, someone were here, so I missed mine. And I guess, well, I said it next year, but then I heard what Rabbi Posner speak about in his first sermon as a senior rabbi, and I thought this could be very fit for that, and maybe something for you too, Rabbi Posner. So I have two things today. One is for all of us, and one is mainly for you, Rabbi Posner, so I hope it will be fine. Like you all heard probably yesterday in the sermon, what a nice speech Hashem gives to Moshe in the beginning of Parshat Vayera. Very, very beautiful. There's a reason why we think this was the thing he spoke in the burning bush. But the thing that Rabbi Posner didn't mention is what happened right after that. And I want to say that because what after all of the beautiful, beautiful psukim that Hashem says to Moshe about all the things that he promised to Israel and to Moshe and everything, it says the following, and it takes like something like 8 verses of beautiful things, and then in one short verse, it says, "Vaydaber Moshe ken el bnei Israel, velo shamu el Moshe mikotzer ruach u'mavada kasha." Or in English, so Moses spoke accordingly to the children of Israel, to Bnei Israel, but they didn't heed Moses because of shortness of breath and hard work. How devastating, right? I mean, all of that beautiful speech, and Moshe come to Bnei Israel and nothing. They didn't hear him. So what exactly is kotzer ruach and avodah kasha? Shortness of breath and hard work. So you can have a lot of hard work, but still you have the shortness of breath, right? You can be very nachat, to have the time to listen to stuff even though you hard work. And there's some people that even though they don't work, they don't have any patience to anything. But in that case, they're both, right? They're also very hard, they worked very hard in Egypt, but also they didn't have the patience, the nachat to listen to what Moshe is telling them. And for us, I think, in our time, we can say that our work is not so hard, comparing at least to slaves in Egypt, I guess. I mean, it's not like we don't work hard. Some of us maybe work a lot and not sleep a lot and think a lot about work, but we don't need to work physically so hard. Most of us don't need to work physically so hard like Bnei Israel at that time. I think the other thing of kotzer ruach, of shortness of breath, of not being patient or not take notice of something, this is much more harder for us these days. There's so many things that happening in this time. I mean, phones, our thoughts, TVs, anything, right? I mean, so many things that attracting our attention, so we won't be so free to make notice of something that people tells us. So I think the first thing that we can learn from that is that always we need to be careful of the thing that disturbing us to listen to something someone is trying to tell us. Maybe Rabbi Posner now as the senior rabbi, but anyone else. I mean, we need to be very, very free for that in our mind, in our thoughts. The second thing is that Rashi on that verse bring midrash story, when it says this is kind of midah keneged midah, which means Bnei Israel react to Moshe because something that Moshe did before that. And this something that Rashi points out is after the first time Moshe spoke with Paro, trying to convince him, let Bnei Israel get out of Egypt, Paro immediately says no and make the work even harder. And Moshe asked God, Lama re'ota la'am hazeh? Why did you did this bad thing to those people? And the Midrash says that God says, you know what? I had Avraham, I had Yitzchak, Yaakov. I did them so many bad things, and they never asked me, why did you do me that? Or I forgot that. What is your name? Because Moshe asked also God, explaining who are you? I want to see you. And none of them asked me that question. So because you was so not patient to wait to see what I'm going to do, so this is the reaction of Bnei Israel too. And I think this is something to learn about leadership. I know, Rabbi Poser, you're going to have lots of blessing this week and in your installation. So I'm just going to add that thing that I learned, and maybe it's a blessing for you. Because I think what God's trying to say to Moshe is, you know what, anyone can ask a question. It's fine. I mean, all of us can ask a question about the way the shul goes, the way that Bet Tefillah tried to get the decisions. But there's one person, the leader, need to be very confident in that. This is not his job to ask the question, why are we doing that, or should we do that later? And I think for 12 years, and I had I see it from the side for the last 4 months, I mean, you knew exactly how to ask the question and to challenge everything and to make sure that things happen the way they need to be. But I bless you that from now on, we're going to be the one that's going to challenging you, because you're now Moshe Rabbeinu, you're now the leader. So I bless you, you're going to have the nachat, the not kotzer ruach, the nachat to be patient for that, but also that you will know what to do, because we're going to ask probably a lot of questions. That's it. We're going to say Rabbi Kaddish in page 57.